of what to expect on today's edition of the show. And see, I do have side comments coming up shortly. I've got a rant up today as well. Something in my mind that express some sort in it. You're welcome to express your take and mine all the way till 4 p.m. Let's see. So at 4 o'clock, business news comes up after that. So today, in a manner of speaking, I think I can theme. I think today's edition of Hard Facts has a theme, and the theme of today's Hard Facts edition is the comeback theme. Some things appear to be making a comeback. Emphasis on the word appear to be making a comeback, and one of them is TVC. TVC makes a comeback, maybe. And by TVC, I mean the temporary voters card. By the way, it appears that is making a comeback. And here's the story. You may have heard about it already, but here's a version from Premium Times. Court orders INEC to allow 2 Nigerians vote without PVCs. In other words, they can't use their TVCs. Here's the story, or a bit of it, from Premium Times. A Federal High Court Abuja on Thursday ordered INEC to allow 2 voters to use temporary voter cards, TVCs, and the March 18 governorship and state houses of assembly elections. Justice Obiora Egwatu made the order while delivering judgment in a suit filed by 2 aggrieved Nigerians seeking the use of TVCs in the general elections in the absence of PVCs, as permanent voter cards. Justice Egwatu said that the order was made on the grounds that the plaintiffs were duly registered and captured in INEC's database. Quote, an order is made compelling the defendant INEC to allow the plaintiffs to vote using their temporary voter cards issued by the defendant, the plaintiffs having been duly captured in the National Register of Voters database. A declaration is made by this court that the plaintiffs, having fulfilled all necessary legal requirements to register and having consequently been captured in the defendant's central database and manual, printed paper-based record or hard copy format of the defendant's maintained register of voters, the plaintiffs are entitled to vote using their temporary voter cards in the forthcoming 2023 election. Yes, indeed. So, the court also held that there was no portion of the law, both the 1999 Constitution and the Electoral Act, that states that it is only PVCs that could be used, but that the law under Section 47 provided for a voter's card. Interesting times indeed. Interesting times we are indeed. However, INEC has faulted this, and INEC says it will be appealing this order of the court. Here's a story from Punch. INEC faults judgment permitting temporary voter card for polls. However, we will discuss this development in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll be asking you, what impact do you suppose this would have on the coming elections? Also, I'll be joined by Barrister Richard Wokocha, Associate Professor of Public Law at the Rivers State University. He'll join me for that conversation in the 4 o'clock hour. Take it on to 5. The news update comes up 5 p.m. Now, here's another thing that appears to be making a comeback, and this one is Rivers State. Remember I said today's edition of Hard Facts has a comeback theme to it. Promotion. Workers in Rivers State possibly have forgotten what the word promotion means. In their personal dictionaries, they may have deleted or expunged the word promotion. However, promotion seems to be coming back, kind of like bell-bottom pants or jeans, or platform shoes, or the afro. Promotion seems to be coming back, or making a comeback, as far as the Rivers State Civil Service is concerned. Now, this was on the news earlier on today. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says his administration will soon begin promotion in the civil service and the employment of 10,000 youths into the service. Governor Wike said this when the new chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC in Rivers State, Alex Agwanwo, and the chairman of the Joint Negotiating Council, Emeche Tachuku, and their executives paid him a courtesy visit at Government House in Port Harcourt. This comes as National Chairman of Labour Party, Julius Aburi, announced Nollywood veteran Hilda Dokubo as the head of a 3-man steering committee for the Rivers State chapter of the party for 1 month, with the immediate task to ensure the victory of the Labour Party governorship candidate in Rivers State, Beatrice Itubo, and all of its House of Assembly candidates on March 18. But the governor accused Itubo, former chairperson of NLC, of promoting an unhealthy relationship between Labour and the state governments. Let's take a listen to what the governor, Nyesom Wike, had to say on the matter.
Look at now, the college fees. They can't maintain the secretariat. It's not by mouth. They can maintain it. But now that she has left, and to welcome you, we are going to start the promotion for you. I didn't want her to take credit. You should take the credit. There's nothing government cannot do for you if we have a good relationship. That's how you go about it. You don't go about plotting against the downfall of the government, which will affect the welfare. The Commission can commence the promotion exercise and also commence the employment of the 5,000.
Okay. A few thoughts about the governor's earlier comments.
Look at now, the college fees. They can't maintain the secretariat. It's not by mouth.
Okay. On that, Your Excellency, I mean, with all due respect, it's not any state government responsibility. It's not the executive responsibility to determine how a labor or any union, for that matter, goes about maintaining its secretariat. The secretariat belongs to them. I understand the River State government's concern, if I may use the word concern, with Labour Secretariat here in River State. I think it was constructed by the River State government for Labour, and that may have created some kind of problem. I remember some time ago, the Secretariat was shut down by the River State government, stating that it was because due to maintenance, and the River State government did not even bother to intimate Labour as to what the nature of maintenance would be, or when it conducted an assessment of what needed to be maintained in the first place. You remember that story, it went on for quite a bit. So once again, it's not the executive responsibility to determine whether Labour's secretariat is maintained, or how it should be maintained, or who should maintain it, or when they should maintain it, or why they should maintain it.
You can maintain it. But now that she has left, and to welcome you, we are going to start the promotion for you. I didn't want her to take credit. You should take the credit. There's nothing government cannot do for you.
Okay, all right. Once again, when government does something for you, when government, you might want to think about it. You might, if the antecedents are anything to go by, you might want to seriously think about it. Well, anyways, there are other aspects to the governor's statement. Once again,
have a good relationship. That's how you go about it. You don't go about plotting against the downfall of the government, which will also affect the welfare of your members. So that the Civil Service Commission can commence the promotion exercise and also commence the employment of the 5,000.
So that will be from the basis of the conversation today, the promotion exercise, according to the governor, and the employment of, I think, is it 10,000 youths. So I'll be asking you in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll discuss this matter. Considering the antecedents of the River State government, should workers in River State be excited about this piece of news? There have been several statements made by this administration to especially employ into the River State Civil Service. Maybe some statements about promotions, maybe, but definitely some statements on employment. I remember there was talk about, in the first term of this administration, there was talk about 10,000 teachers, I believe 10,000 teachers, and I think 4,000 non-teaching staff. I don't think that ever happened. I believe it was Mr. Tamino Sisi Gogo Jaja, I think, who was Commissioner for Education at the time. And the River State government conducted a needs assessment by itself and determined it needed or required 14,000 additional staff in the education sector in River State. That did not happen. There was talk about the employment of how many again? Is it 5,000? 5,000? I don't know. How far that went. And there's been talk about zero employment, so to speak, into the civil service, so to speak. Promotion. In this administration, but right from its first time. So once again, considering these antecedents, should workers in River State be excited by these announcements or pronouncements? I'm glad to get your take on that in the 5 o'clock hour after the updates. We've got the headlines at 5:30 p.m. Major news comes up top of the hour at 6. and a review of all of these matters afterwards. In the open scene to this edition of Hard Facts. Thankfully, the weekend officially commences. Well, in the manner of speaking, it has officially commenced. But we get things going right now. So today's side comments, random stories, random thoughts that caught my attention as I checked out the news earlier on today. A reminder that side comments are not up for discussion right now. Much later on, during the open season segment, I'll take your thoughts on my side comments. Let's start with this one. Rivers State House of Assembly has granted Governor Nyesom Wike's request to dissolve the State Independent Electoral Commission RISEC. The letter from Governor Nyesom Wike requesting the dissolution of RISEC was read on the floor of the House by the Speaker of the Assembly, Ikunyi Ibaniwaje. The Speaker, after the debate, said that RISEC is for public interest. Well, possibly, as the Governor possibly has the powers to make such or request such a dissolution. However, okay, I'll come to that shortly. Got a commercial break to attend to right now. We'll be back in a bit. Please stay with us.
The details. The story.
I'm Dyer. 26 minutes come and still on with today's side comment. So earlier, before I went for that break, I read something from up our news earlier on. River State House of Assembly has granted, which I said at that time, well, the governor possibly, very likely, has powers to do that. You know, I mean, he's well within his rights as far as the powers granted his office to do that. Maybe not much amiss with that. However, you know, one just can't help but wonder, I mean, what the position of the Revisited House of Assembly would have been anyway. I mean, did it have a choice in the matter? And not just the Revisited House of Assembly, possibly most other, if not every other House of Assembly throughout the country. I mean, did the House of Assembly really have a choice in the matter? I mean, the Excellency has made a request. Is there a possibility that something else would have happened besides granting His Excellency's request? Just thinking, you know, just thinking out loud. Also, some River State civil servants have continued. Now, by the way, this is part of my assignment. This will not form a part of the main conversation on the show today. Just to remind you of that. Okay. Now, remember the governor's comments when I was talking about, you know, the outgoing or outgone leadership of the Nigeria NLC in River State and their secretariat and how they could not maintain it. Remember that statement? Let's hear it again. Some of what the governor said.
Look at now. The college can maintain this. It's not by much. He can maintain it. But
okay. They can't maintain the secretariat. Okay. All right. So one of the governor's concerns about the leadership, the outgone leadership of the NLC in River State, is that they could not maintain their secretariat. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's just downright ridiculous. Why should the leadership of the NLC not be able to maintain its secretariat? That's completely unheard of. I mean, that's a terrible thing. Why would any leadership of Labour, the NLC for that matter, collecting dues? They are collecting dues, for crying out loud. How can they have been collecting dues and they cannot maintain their secretariat? Of all things, secretariat with all the dues? Can you believe this? Where in the world does a thing like that happen? I'll tell you. Some River State civil servants, this is from our news bar, lifts in the state secretariat. Oh my goodness. Our correspondent visited some blocks within the secretariat complex and reports that most people now rely on torchlights to climb the stairs due to constant power outages. Some civil servants who spoke said the lifts have not been working for the past 1 year. Don't take my word for it. Let's take a listen to what some of these civil servants had to say about the secretariat owned not by Labour but by the River State government.
We have worked for more than a year using the STEP. People that are not civil servants, most people that comes to Ministry of Education to do their school run collapse. That's the situation that we are. The place is not conducive for them because they are not used to the staircase. So some people faint, some people start pouring them water.
It was difficult because I was backing baby, and again I'm not too strong. First floor to the 5th floor now. There should be a lift to help.
The lift is more preferable. My sister used her phone light for us to see the staircase. So I'm calling on the government to do something about it. At least if there is light on the staircase, at least it will enable you to move. Then you'll be seeing exactly how the steps are.
This is unbelievable. This cannot be true. These people must have been sponsored by the opposition. Sponsored by the opposition to malign the good works done by this administration and to distract, to inherently distract His Excellency. This cannot be true. I mean, after His Excellency vehemently criticized the NLC for not maintaining its own secretariat, these people obviously must be the handwork of saboteurs, people who are sent in by, I don't know, allegedly Hezbollah, who knows, or even ISIS, sponsored by the opposition. It's all the political blackmail. That's what this must be. Political blackmail, I dare say, to paint this government in a bad light. But, maybe, allegedly. However, which is worse? I don't know. Whatever condition the NLC Secretariat was in, I don't know what the conditions, but whatever condition that was in, and the condition of the River State Government Secretariat, let's take a listen to some of these civil servants once again.
We have worked for more than a year using the STEP. People that are not civil servants, most people that comes to Ministry of Education to do their school run collapse.
They collapsed the River State Government Secretariat. Has anybody collapsed at NLC Secretariat because of their using the facilities at the NLC Secretariat?
The place is not conducive to them because they are not used to the staircase. So some people faint.
They faint? Has anyone fainted at the NLC Secretariat because they're using the facilities at the NLC Secretariat?
People start pouring them water.
They pour them water at River State Government Secretariat? Has anybody poured water at the NLC Secretariat because of using the facilities over there?
It was difficult because I was backing baby, and again I'm not too strong.
Oh my goodness. Even women with babies are suffering at the River State Government Secretariat. Has any woman with a baby suffered at the NLC Secretariat because they use their facilities there?
Floor to the 5th floor now. There should be a lift to help.
The lift is more preferable. My sister used her phone light for us to see the steps.
Phone light? When they at the NLC Secretariat, do they use phone light to see their way around over there?
Case. So I'm calling on the government to do something about it. At least if there is light on the staircase, at least it will enable you to move. Then you'll be seeing exactly how the steps are.
All right. So the NLC may be collecting dues, and it should, by the way, maintain its facility. But the River State government gets a budget, a massive budget. They've got IGR. They got all kinds of money. We got oil money. We got almost Arab money coming in. I mean, the least we can do is maintain our secretariat, especially if we expect NLC to maintain theirs. We should maintain ours also, I suppose. All right, any more news items that caught my attention on the news today? Was there anything else? Not sure. I mean, the news is awash with, politicians saying this and saying that. Join us, do this, do that, and all of that. We are the one, they are the one, blah, blah, blah. Once again, Politicians will do what politicians do. You endeavor to do what you are required to do as well. A lot is riding on these elections once again. Play your role, do your part. Yeah. You people don't know how governance works. Can you enlighten me, please? Someone also says the River State government has trader money. No, the River State government does not have trader money. That's federal government's money. Yeah. Anyways, but maybe it's a case of we have infrastructure money, and we cannot use infrastructure money. Infrastructure money is different from secretariat money. You have to understand that there's a distinction from infrastructure money and secretariat. We cannot use the money for infrastructure for flyovers. To maintain secretariat. That could be the distinction here. How could I not have known that? So that's it for side comment. I go for a break. When I return, today's rant comes up. Do please stay with us. Hello and welcome back. It is Hard Fact, originally live from your number one talk station, 92.3 Nigeria Info, here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. Let's talk. 24 minutes to go before 4 p.m. I'd like to rant for a bit. There's something pondering my mind, and that I'm pondering rather. I'd like to express a thought or two on that. Don't mind getting your take on that till 4. There are a number of things. That make for a decent society. There are a number of things that make for a functional society. A number of things. There are elements that make for a society that works. A society that experiencing growth and development in any society doesn't just happen. And I don't know what happens in heaven, but I sincerely doubt that God is the one that does it. I mean, God possibly can do a lot of things, or maybe everything, but I'm not sure how much invested God is in making societies functional. Because I do know for a fact, but what I do know for a fact is that functional societies, or that there are elements that make for a functional society, and I'm not sure that if you list elements that make for a functional society, a living God is one of those elements. No, I don't think so. And I think some of the things that make for a functional society is a society where you have justice. A society where you have equity. The quality of being fair and impartial. A society where the rule of law prevails. These are elements that make for a functional society, a society where things work. The rule of law, which, by the way, is the political philosophy that all citizens and institutions within a country, state, or community are accountable to the same laws, including lawmakers and leaders. You need to write that down somewhere, because somebody tells me you didn't know that before now. You didn't know that before now. The rule of law is the philosophy that all citizens and institutions within a country, state, or community are accountable to the same laws, including lawmakers and leaders. These and possibly some other elements are what make for a functional society where things work, where people's aspirations are given thought to. A society that experiences growth and development. I mean actual growth and development, not just increase in number of buildings or roads, which might lead to actual nothingness. Now that's the essence of today's rant, of my rant today. A reminder to everyone that justice is meant for everyone. Justice, its very essence, its very nature implies that everyone is captured, everyone is beneath it, everyone is under it, which also speaks to the political philosophy of the rule of law. Came across a story today from the Punch newspaper, why I sought kidney donor outside my family, according to Ekweremadu. I won't delve into the story much, but here's some of it. Former Deputy President of the Senate, Ekweremadu, has told a court in London that he was advised by his doctor against seeking a kidney donor from among his family members. I won't bore you with the story. You know about it. You know the travails of the Ekweremadus. It's been on since last year, I do believe. The Ekweremadus, Senator Ekweremadu, standing trial with his wife in the London court at the moment over allegations that they tried to harvest some person's kidney to save their daughter, who has some kidney issues, health challenges she's dealing with. And I do wish her the best, by the way. Now, I do not want to speak to the trial or the case itself. I'm sure that the courts in London will determine, will make the right choices eventually, will determine, will observe the facts of the case, will consider the facts of the case, and arrive at the right decisions eventually. And justice will be served. I have a firm belief that will happen. However, the idea that a big man like that, that a strong man like that, that a senator, honorable, excellency, is committed to the same rules and regulations, the same laws binding every other person, as we will say in Nigeria, the masses, the ordinary Nigerians, the common people. Even big men, senators, are being subjected to the same rules, subjected to the same laws. I'll ask you this. Are you confident that if this matter had seen the light of day, or had been blown open in Nigeria, are you confident that what we're witnessing happening in England right now would have transpired here in Nigeria? I'm not clairvoyant. I wouldn't claim to see the future either. So I will not say that would happen. I would not say it would not happen. But I'm asking you, are you confident? Are you absolutely confident that we would have witnessed in Nigeria a similitude even of what we're witnessing taking place right now in England? Are you confident that the Ekweremadus will be asked questions? And once again, I need to make it clear, I am not attempting to prefer guilt or innocence on anyone. I repeat, and I maintain, the courts will determine that. That's their job. And I feel confident that they will do that. But the question, once again, I reiterate, is, are you confident that would have been the case, or that would be the case in Nigeria? Would questions have been asked at all? How would the police have handled this if the matter had gone to the police? Would the police have taken in the complaint Would they have told him to bring money to buy a generator to on the jet set so that they can have light? Would they have asked him to bring? Would the police have invited Honorable Senator Ekweremadu for questioning on this matter? Would they have gone to his house to possibly pick him up or invite him to their station to question him on the allegations by this ordinary common Nigerian? Would they have done that? Would they have bothered to investigate the matter? And possibly upon belief that he might be guilty, he might be in the emphatic term here, be guilty of something, would they have effected an arrest of the Ekweremadus, big people in society? And by the way, I'm using the Ekweremadus to describe any other big person in Nigeria. Would they have done that? Would they have effected an arrest? Would there have been a prosecution? Would they have been remanded? The kinds of questions they are facing right now in court, would those questions have been asked if this had transpired in Nigeria? Would the person who made the allegation, would he have been protected? Would he be in state custody right now to ensure that nothing happens to him? Nobody is able to get access to him or to even harm him in any way. Are you confident all of this would have transpired in Nigeria if this matter had even seen the light of day at all in our dear country? However, I perceive that most persons in England can say confidently that even in another scenario, even in the future, what's playing out now will play out even then. Maybe that explains why their society, to a large degree, is a functional one. Not because they build bridges, not because they build flyovers, not because they commission projects day in, day out, or they organize empowerment programs for their youths. No. But because this is a society where justice, equity, fairness, and the rule of law, is given prominence above every other thing, irrespective of your status, how big you are, or who the heck you are. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening to be on board. Let's get your take in mind. Numbers are the same line to rip. We got, where are those numbers? They were here somewhere. Oh my. Okay, let's see what those numbers are. Okay, can someone help with the numbers, please? You know the numbers, don't you? All right, we're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. We're live on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH as well. Call 08. Is it 080 093 093? Is that it? I think that. Can someone help me with our number, please? Our studio number. Can you send it to me via WhatsApp, please? The studio number. If you remember the studio number also, I seem to have forgotten that as well. So if you remember the WhatsApp number, please send me our studio number to the WhatsApp number. Thank you very much. A reminder, we're also live on Facebook and Twitter as well. I remember those ones. It's facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Also via Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Let's get your ticket. It's got a few minutes to go before 4 p.m. Lines open right now. Oh, thank you very much. So here's the number to call: 070-0923-0923. That's it. That's the number. Thank you very much. 070-0923-0923. That's the number to call. All right. So, and thank you to Bob for sending that in, by the way, and the other person. Okay, so once again, call 070-0923-0923. Now, the WhatsApp number is 0809 030-6416. Oh, thank you very much. It is wonderful people for helping me with the numbers. So let's get your take on this. I've got some comments in already. Let's start with this one. Here in Nigeria, and Ekweremadu happened to be in the opposition, it would have been tagged a witch hunt. But on the other hand, if he is in the good books of a ruling party, the matter would have been swept under the carpet. And that's from Hector Christopher. Greetings to you, Dio. Nigeria wouldn't have gone this way because we are more developed. We don't touch those in charge. That's from Father Stanley. That's interesting. We are so developed in Nigeria, we don't touch people in charge. All right. No, the answer is absolutely no. That's from a Bright from Port Harcourt. I think we have a problem with the phone line. Can someone please check this out, please? Thank you very much. In the interim, do call any of our other numbers. If you have those mobile numbers, please do call them. And if you know them by heart, please send them to me as well via the WhatsApp number. Okay? Whilst we wait on the smart number 070, the 0700 number to come back online. But call any of the other mobile numbers for now. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome. Please go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Bayo. Good afternoon.
Hello, go ahead, boss. Go ahead.
We've had discussion on radio and maybe off radio why some people will say Nigeria is the best country and they don't want to travel outside Nigeria, promote Nigeria and all that. The reason is simple. Because you can just like what happened in Lagos, where still under investigation, where the BRT driver saw a train coming, and you know what to do, is not wait. But because we are in Nigeria, you just want to maneuver and pass if the train speed. And then what happened? That is a typical Nigeria for us, calamity waiting to happen. That is why we say we love Nigeria. Why? You can blow highway from Rumola to Rumokoro and nothing happens. But you can't try that in London. You know, you wait on queue and take the London bus. Everybody, if you want to sit, you sit. If you want to stand, you stand, and all that. You can't try that on that big bus that flies the Aba Port Harcourt road. You know, simple because we are in Nigeria. You drink sachet water and you throw it on the ground anyhow. That is because we love Nigeria. That is the reason why a lot of people will say Nigeria is better than abroad. Simple because of that, nothing else. But if they want to do the right thing, then you are marginalizing them.
Clement.
You are putting them in fact. Thank you.
Your thoughts are welcome. Good to hear from you. Hard facts. Let's see. The case of Honorable Dogowa of Kano State answers the question that no justice would have been granted to anyone. A man accused of murder is out on bail in less than a week. No DPP advice, no High Court. Ekweremadu would have been a free man if it were to be in Nigeria. Good afternoon. Thanks for your rant. The answer is capital N-O. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, go on.
Yes. This is George from Michi.
Go ahead.
The question you asked, it could not have been possible in Nigeria, where, let me take, for example, the honorable that was caught with dollars. We are just waiting for the right time, Honorable know he will soon be out, then we'll go and look for those people who set him up. So it could not have been possible. Ekweremadu would have been in his house by now. In fact, that young man would have been the one in prison for wanting to allow His Excellency's daughter to die. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome also. Let's get to your take. Got some comment via Facebook. Serious Honorable Goes Died would have taken place 10 years. It would have taken police 10 years to conclude their investigation, just as it's taken them when the hoodlums snatched the Senate mace in the 9th Assembly, if Ekweremadu's case happened here in Nigeria. Mpoi Kanke Doaka goes, so nobody has gone to London to protest that UK police should leave their son alone. That is not the first person to harvest kidney. Marginalization. Oh wow. Yeah. I'm not sure anyone has accused the UK police of witch hunt or trying to malign their son. I'm not sure that's happened. I seriously doubt that has happened, or that it will even happen at all. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Yeah, good day, Dayo.
All right, go on.
Yeah, Barango Tara coming from Buguno. Now, I think you have highlighted the elements of functional society, justice, rule of law, equity. Egalitarianism is also an element. A society where everybody will be treated equally. However, I want to say, in Ekwerimadu's case, if it were to be in Nigeria,
I sincerely apologize.
I don't expect anything good from
I sincerely
our
apologize. Commercial break now. Return shortly.
For more talk, news and sports, stay tuned to Nigeria Info.
We'll be right back after this.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
Exactly. I am going to seriously work on my music skills. Let me use my talent well, I beg.
I would like to be a radio presenter, but I don't know how to go about it.
But why is Simi so quiet today?
Sorry, ladies. I'm taking this interesting course on how to become a professional scriptwriter. You too can also
Governor Cuomo, I think.
Of his office.
Yes.
Such a thing can never ever happen in Nigeria, please. Never at all. You understand? So we are still backward. I don't know when we're going to get it right. That at least if a key man can do something, I will stand before the law. Or a man that is on SUV who hit someone and then admit that yes, he did it too, and the law called him up and he stood there and he served his sentence. Never. I don't know when God will just help us, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean the traditional Nigerian way will end up calling on God, because once again, remember during the rant I asked, when you're considering the element of a functioning society, I don't think that if you're writing that list, a living God is one of the elements of a functioning society, or a God of wonders. I don't think so. I sincerely doubt that. I mean, God probably does what God does, whatever that is, but I don't think a living God is one of the elements of a functional society or a miracle worker. Not sure about that. Maybe another couple of comments as I wrap up the conversation. Ekweremadu would have used his connections to silence the issue if it were to be Nigeria, just like lots of them walk in the streets freely. Chibuzi Onita said that. Let's see. If it were in Niger, fellow senators would have worn black and marched to the courts in protest. Nigeria, I hail thee. Good afternoon, Don. If it were in Nigeria, they would have been granted bail on self-recognition. That's from Obed. The answer is absolute no. Don't forget that our National Assembly agreed to do an official communication to the UK government. That's from Daibe. I think that may have been done already, actually. Not sure it accomplished very much, really. But that's a wrap for now. We got the business news coming up shortly. Remember, rule of law, equity, fairness are elements of a functioning society. I don't think a miracle working God is one of them. When I return from the break, Bryce Okocha joins me as TVC appears to be making a comeback in Nigeria. Please stay tuned.